It came across like most of the jobs we worked on, which was, like apart from working with Peter, who was in Miramar in the suburb where I live, the process of those films were more organic in the fact that we were sort of more appraised of what was going on. Whereas most other projects, they just arrive. Someone says, "We'd like you guys to do the design work. Here's the project that we're working on." So it's sort of, you're always blindsided by something. It just comes in from out of the blue. This is the job we're working on. So that sort of hit like that, and it was off the back of being involved in a couple of sort of really epic fantasy genres. So it was pretty exciting to sort of go, okay, we're going to be diving into something live action. No, it's not live action. Something sci-fi, hard sci-fi outside of European context. Pretty exciting.
That was, to be honest, one of my first projects starting at Workshop, and probably one of the first ones one of the reasons I was hired was because of my interest in robots. So I jumped in the deep end with that one, and sadly it didn't land, but it was, for the time that we were working on it, incredibly exciting because like I say, I went into it with full commitment that, well, this is a film that's going to happen. So I worked on it with that intensity. Well, even if it wasn't going to happen, I would have worked on it with full intensity, but like I said, I didn't even know that it wasn't possible and it couldn't be cancelled.
I was head of the design department at the time, and so I was across that project in that respect, but I ended up doing quite a bit of design work on it. There was trying to think, there were 4 main designers on it. Most people in the design department, and generally how things work at Weta as the project comes through, at the time we were sort of at a size where one big film would occupy virtually the whole company, so everyone would be thrown in to see who gelled with the project well, whose design work was resonating with the director and anyone else involved. So most people would have had a bit of a crack at it to start with, and then the people who are getting the most success tend to run with the designs and sort of take on most of the design work from there. So it ended up being myself, Greg Broadmoor, Christian Pearce, and Stephen Crow would be the main names I can think of that were sort of working into it. And it ended up that 3 of us ended up sort of having the best success on one of the Avas each. So we each sort of took one of the Avas through to the sort of general level they got to before the project fell over. I was doing Ava 1, Christian Pearce was doing Ava 0, and Greg Broadmoor did Ava 2.